I used to believe that time healed all wounds until I discovered that time itself was wounded and needed people like me to suture it closed. Let me tell you how a taxidermist of extinct species, a language that died with its last speaker in 1847, and my own refusal to stop listening to silences, taught me that trauma isn't stored in memory, it's stored in grammar, in the specific syntax of moments that couldn't complete themselves, and that healing requires learning to speak what was never meant to be said. My name is Vesper. I'm 34 years old. I am a chronolinguistic trauma surgeon. I operate on temporal wounds, using vocabulary from languages that no longer exist, assisted by the preserved vocalizations of birds that will never sing again. You won't find my profession in any career guide. I didn't find it myself. It found me through a classified advertisement written in steam on a bathroom mirror, through a series of impossible coincidences that I now understand were simply time attempting to heal itself through whatever vessels were available. The old me was a forensic lip reader. I worked in courtrooms and surveillance labs, decoding silent footage, translating the movements of mouths into evidence, into testimony, into the visible record of what people said when they thought no one was watching. I was excellent. I could read the micro-expressions that accompanied speech, the tells that revealed deception, the truths that leaked through the cracks of performed innocence. I was the person who watched what you said when your audio failed, when your camera broke, when you believed yourself unobserved. I told myself this was justice, truth, the revelation of what actually happened when the official record went silent. What I was doing was collecting fragments of incomplete moments, conversations cut short by violence, last words interrupted by death, declarations of love that never reached their destination because the train crashed, the phone died, the speaker changed their mind mid-sentence, and the grammar collapsed into something that couldn't be completed, couldn't be released, couldn't become part of the past, and therefore remained, wounded, open, bleeding into the present in ways that caused inexplicable suffering. I didn't know about the wounds then. I just knew that certain cases left me sleepless. Certain lip readings produced transcripts that felt wrong, that seemed to continue in my dreams, that attracted strange coincidences in my waking life. People I'd read would appear in my neighborhood. Locations from footage would manifest in my travels. Time felt increasingly porous. The breaking point was a case in Reykjavik, 2023. I was decoding security footage from a museum theft. Not valuable, not famous, just a small collection of taxidermied extinct birds that the thief had left untouched while stealing nothing anyone could identify. I lip-read the guard's final words before he died of apparently natural causes mid-shift. He was speaking to someone not visible on camera, someone not present in any record. His mouth formed words in a language I didn't recognize, but my hands, moving automatically, possessed by something I couldn't name, transcribed phonetically what became, upon research, the last recorded vocabulary of the Tasmanian language, extinct since 1847. The guard had never studied linguistics, had never travelled to Tasmania, had no known exposure to this vocabulary, yet he spoke it fluently, conversationally, to someone invisible in his final moments. I found the wound, or it found me. The taxidermist's name was Orin. They worked in a converted lighthouse on the Scottish coast, surrounded by birds that would never sing again. The passenger pigeon, the dodo, the huya with its beak that curved like a question mark. They didn't stuff these specimens, they preserved something else, the specific resonance of their vocalizations, captured in wax cylinders, in early recordings, in the particular frequencies that their bodies had evolved to produce. Birds sing in time, Orin explained when I arrived unannounced, following coordinates that had appeared in my dreams. Birds sing in time, not just in rhythm, but in time itself. Their songs marked seasons, migrations, matings. When a species goes extinct, its song becomes a temporal wound, an expected sound that never arrives. The silence where the song should be, that's what causes the bleeding. I didn't understand. I was still forensic, still skeptical, still believing that my presence was explainable by stress, by coincidence, by the need for vacation. Then Orin played me the Hooya recording, not through speakers, but through a device they had constructed from clockwork and bone, from the specific resonant chamber of a Hooya skull, merged with brass tubes and ivory keys. I heard the song, but I didn't just hear it. I felt it in my sternum, in my teeth, in the specific frequency where memory seems to be stored, and I actually saw a rip in the air beside the device, a visible wound in the texture of present moment, leaking images that weren't memories because they hadn't happened yet, or had happened differently, or were happening in versions of time that had diverged from ours when the Hooya stopped singing. "You can see them," Orin said, not surprised, resigned. "You've been seeing them your whole life. You just called them coincidences, déjà vu, anxiety, the sense that certain moments aren't finished, that certain conversations are still happening somewhere, that certain deaths didn't complete themselves." They showed me my own file, compiled without my knowledge, incidents from my childhood, moments I'd felt wrong, incomplete, bleeding into subsequent days, all associated with specific linguistic events. A grandmother's interrupted story in her dying language, a friend's confession cut short by a phone call, my own declaration of love that was received but never answered, the grammar left hanging, the temporal syntax incomplete. "You've been a surgeon your whole life," Orin said. "You just didn't have the tools, the languages, the songs. You were trying to heal wounds with observation when they required operation. The training was impossible, and I completed it anyway. I learned to speak dead languages, not academically, surgically, to hold the specific grammar of extinction in my mouth and use it to suture temporal wounds closed. The Tasmanian vocabulary I'd first encountered became my primary instrument, its particular structure, evidential, requiring the speaker to indicate how they knew what they claimed, made it ideal for repairing moments where truth had been interrupted, where testimony had been cut short, where the past couldn't complete itself into the past tense. I learned to work with the birds, not their preserved bodies, their preserved songs, the Hooya's frequency for healing wounds of interrupted love, the passenger pigeon's mass vocalization for wounds of collective trauma, the ones that affected entire communities, entire generations, entire timelines where something massive had been cut short. I learned to see the wounds clearly. They appear as visible distortions in the texture of daily life, a conversation that seems to echo longer than it should, a street corner where accidents keep happening in identical ways, a family where the same argument recurs across generations with the same words, the same gestures, the same incomplete resolution. I operate now, not in hospitals, in moments. I arrive at temporal wound sites, identified by patterns that Orin tracks using instruments I don't fully understand, and I perform closure. The work is not gentle. I speak the dead languages aloud, in public, in situations that appear insane to uninvolved observers.
I use the birdsongs played through Orin's devices to establish the proper resonant field, and I guide the interrupted moment to completion, finding the grammatical structure that allows it to become past, to stop bleeding, to release its hold on the present. I've closed a wound in a Berlin subway station where a woman's confession of infidelity had been interrupted by a train's arrival in 1987, causing 30 years of identical interruptions in subsequent relationships, until I helped her complete the sentence to the empty air where her lover had stood. I've sutured a wound in a rural Japanese school where a teacher's unfinished lesson about Hiroshima had looped through 40 years of substitute teachers, each unable to complete the sentence their predecessor had begun, until I spoke the necessary words in Ainu, the language that had died in that region, that carried the specific evidential weight required. I've healed my own wound, the declaration of love that never received answer. I found the person, older now, changed, living a different life, and I didn't demand response. I simply spoke the grammar of completion, the words that allowed the moment to become past, to stop bleeding, to release its hold on the present. I'm different now. I speak dead languages in public. I carry wax cylinders of extinct birds. I see wounds in time that others experience as anxiety, as repetition compulsion, as the sense that certain patterns will never change. I am not cured. I am not wise. I am simply equipped. I have tools for a job that shouldn't exist but does, that must be done by someone, that found me because I had spent my life learning to read what people said when they thought no one was watching, including, finally, time itself. Orin is still in the lighthouse, still preserving birds that will never sing again, still training others who arrive through impossible coincidences. We are not many. We are not enough. The wounds outnumber us, always will, because extinction is constant, and trauma is universal, and grammar is fragile. But we operate, we suture, we close what we can. The lesson, if you need it: you are carrying wounds you cannot name, moments that didn't complete themselves, conversations that were cut short, truths that were interrupted before they could become past tense. These are not memories. They are active injuries, bleeding into your present, causing patterns you cannot explain, repetitions you cannot break. You cannot heal them by understanding them, by analyzing them, by finding the lesson, or the meaning, or the narrative closure. You heal them by completion, by finding the grammar that allows them to finish, by speaking what was never spoken, hearing what was never heard, allowing the moment to become what it needed to be so that it can release you. Find your dead language, your extinct song, your specific frequency for healing what time has wounded. It exists, it is waiting, and it will find you when you are ready to stop being forensic, stop observing, stop analyzing, and become surgical. Become willing to operate on the wounds that everyone else is still calling coincidence, still calling fate, still calling just the way things are. I'm Vesper. I speak what was never meant to be said. I heal what time has broken. I am finally complete enough to continue.